Morning, we are live. Hope you are well. Friday is Friday. I won't do that song. We are about to start our live home workouts, 6:30 and 7:15 this morning, and 8 and 9:30. Live cooking 5:30, and then we have 7 p.m. as well tonight. Friday Frenzy. We've got quiz workout this morning. We have no floor, so there's no getting up and down from the floor at 9:30. We have back to basics where we go over the form, technique, really to make sure you're doing it safely and effectively. So, however, wanted to talk this morning about something that come up last lockdown quite a bit, but also comes up anyway, if I'm honest, because let's face it, when we're stressed, when we're tired, we tend to make decisions that maybe we say things, you might say things, let me know if you do, like, I didn't feel like it was me. It was almost automatic. I just go to food when I'm stressed. I just go to food. I've eaten and I'm like, why did I do that? I didn't even want it. So how do I stop eating when I'm not hungry? I'm not going to come here and say that this is easy, because it's probably a habit that's built up over time and time and time. I'm also not going to say that I never do it, because I do it. Food has a lot of emotional baggage with it. So we celebrate with it, we commiserate with it, we socialise with it. Maybe not so much now, although I had a chat with one of the ladies yesterday and she was like, oh, it's great. I can, instead of meeting my friend for a coffee, we can get a takeaway coffee or bring our own coffee and go for a walk together. Hey Sue, hey Marie, hey Caroline. How good's that? So you can meet a friend and go for a long walk together for as long as you want. That's quite cool. So we're not really locked down when you can do that. It's quite cool. So anyway, I digress. My point being is that I'm going to go for a few steps to help you do this, because like I said, we socialise doing it, we celebrate doing it. You know, food is more than just hunger. Like, you'd be blinded if you thought that. So what I want to do is go for a set of questions, really simple, that you can just ask to get more aware of your habits and really question what you do. Because an urge doesn't actually last long. An urge to eat can last 50 seconds if you really feel the urge and don't fight it. And just know that before I go into this, when we do decide to do anything in life, any decision we make, we've essentially decided that we get more benefit from doing that than the opposite. That's kind of making it very simple. 1 is more beneficial than 0. So eating this chocolate when I'm not hungry is more beneficial than not. And quite often when we're stressed and tired, our prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that allows us to make better, more intelligent decisions based on where we want to be long term, is switched off essentially. But we know that meditation, sleep can help with that. I digress. 5 tips that are going to help. Questions. So what I would advise is, if you're struggling with this, is to make a simple rule so that you've kind of organised and planned your snacks and bits in between in advance. And this is only if you struggle with the bits in between, and I know a lot of people do. I speak to a lot of people. So if you think about it, you plan holidays when we can, you plan social events, work, shopping most of the time. Yet when it comes to food and what we eat in the day, we sometimes just wing it. And if you think about it now, if you're after more energy, if you're after a healthier body, if you're after more fitness, if you're after essentially changing the way you feel, which, let's face it, the way you feel pretty much impacts everything you do. The way you feel pretty much impacts everything you do, from relationships to how you handle conversations, problems, obstacles that are inevitable. Then you've got to consider that we eat 3 to 5 times a day in some instances, 6. Every time you do this is an opportunity to give your body nutrients that will change the way you feel. We know this from research. They even gave prisoners in one study omega-free, like a higher omega-free diet, and they showed improvement in behaviour. They see similar things in all the time, but in terms of just how powerful nutrition is, not just for your bone density, so your risk of falls go down, not just for the risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, but the way you feel, your cognitive health, and that can then impact the decisions that you make. I digress again. This is making a simple rule.